Get cozy, everybody, because they will be playing a game called Bring Me That Shawarma, requested by Inference. Let's start. Okay, text speed is all okay. I guess that's the only thing I need. Skip, don't do that. Alright, let's start. For real. Alright. So, I'm still waiting. Am I supposed to click on something? There you go. So, what's up? What is happening? Why is there no dialogue? What is going What the fuck is... So there is dialogue, except it's not being seen? What the fuck? I don't get it. Is it because I changed the window? I mean, the size of the game? I have no idea. This is supposed to be an original format. I honestly have no idea what's going on here. Oh, okay. I'm so dumb. Sorry. Technically, I chose one of the stories that have not yet been translated or something. I'm so dumb. Sorry. That's my bad. My bad. Alright. Okay. Let's start. Yeah, okay, now what? Oh, there you go. Finally, the first order after 4 grueling hours. But my time is over soon. I'd rather much just sit till the end. Unfortunately for me, now I have to go somewhere for an order. What's wrong with this life? Man, I hate doing my job, which everybody in the world can relate, unless you work at a toy store? But then again, a toy store is also a pain. You don't actually get to play with the toys. You can play with it when the boss isn't looking. I've been working properly for a year and always doing my best, but in the end, no orders, no money, and clients complain all the time. Oh, tell me about it. What's the point of this courier rating if there aren't many orders anyway? Flexible work schedule, high income bonuses, and discounts at restaurants sounds like a dream job. Bullshit, I don't even have money for rent. And the problems with clients are more absurd after the other. The navigator can't find a house, or the customer cancels the order when I'm already halfway there, and now I have to pay for that shit. People act like they don't want their food at all. Yeah, man. Recently, I made a delivery to an upscale neighborhood. At the entrance, I met the concierge, but she didn't want to let me in. I immediately called the customer, and he flatly refused to come get the food himself. What an asshole. My company support service was no help to me either. From the beginning, I didn't like the concierge. She looked like she had been a patient in the nut house whom was released yesterday. Not to mention her eyes were sly, like the damn bald dude who put dill in my shawarma once. Fucking asshole, I still haven't forgotten you, Earl. She had clearly gathered, and there's a fucking motorcycle. All the wisdom of this life. Rolled a joint out of it and smoked cheekily in the face of anyone who had the audacity to cross her path. I couldn't and didn't want to trust her, but I had no choice. I couldn't think of anything better than to bribe and ask her to deliver the order to the customer. Of course, she got both the money and food, so I got fined. Fuck. But in this case, the customer's behavior and complaint can still somehow be understandable. Okay. Once the restaurant forgot to put napkins in the bag, and so the customer complained to support that I had stolen them. It's a fucking napkin. Jeez, you don't have one of those at home? What kind of home do you have? It's incomplete. What the fuck was that clown? Oh. Genius. There's nothing more to say. Is that supposed to be making fun of something, I think? I mean, there was a clown that kind of show up. The jerk-off could have checked the receipt and asked me, since there are always a couple of tissues in my pockets. As you have already understood, the courier is always to blame and they have to pay for everything when somebody cancels last minute. Fucking dipshits. Of course, the strongest foundation of success are built from the stones thrown at you, but my nerves seem to give up before they are built. This time I was lucky and everything went without incident, but in the end, and I'm still not particularly happy about it. Feels like I'm earning less and less every day. It's hard to maintain this hairstyle, you know? What's next? Will they stop giving me shifts? Damn. I think it's time to consider changing jobs. As a last resort, I could try to get a position at a newly opened vape shop. 19 minutes till the end of my shift. I might as well start walking slowly towards the home. Was this an order of 20 shawarma and one as a gift? One as a gift. That is a total of 21. Wow, I can count. 21, 21, 21, yeah. Okay. That is just definitely 21. What's that about? 21 is my lucky number. The stars have aligned. This is clearly a sign that it's too early to leave this job. After accepting the order, I went to the shawarma restaurant to pick up the food. Now, am I supposed to click on something? I mean, it's not doing anything. Oh, alright. Finally arrived. Raw bar. Typical Oleg. Is that how it's pronounced? How is the large shawarma order coming along? Half of it is already done. The rest will take another 15 minutes. The order's pretty big, so no wonder it's not ready yet. I might as well order a coffee and talk to the cashier. I've always wondered why the sign changed the grill to rot. It's a long story. It's not like I'm in a hurry. Fine, then listen. There once was a businessman named Oleg. He didn't care what he invested his dough in, as long as Oleg was in the name. That's how this place came to be. At first, everything was fine, but over the time, the management began to save on ingredients, and the quality of shawarma deteriorated. An act of rebellion was staged by school children, who constantly kept correcting the word grill to rot on the sign. The phrase "I loved you," Oleg has become a local meme. So, the quality of the shawarma here is so-so? Yep, but I didn't tell you that. But who would want to order so much shawarma from so far away? Surely there are better shawarma restaurants in that area. And what kind of address is this? I've never been there before. Where exactly did the order come from? Nizhny Podzuk Street. I don't even know how it's pronounced. Instead of the cashier's voice, I heard a different one from somewhere behind me. When I turned around, I couldn't even immediately see the person who was talking to me. Where are you, little dude? Oh, hey kid, it's a very dangerous neighborhood. You should stay out of it. What's wrong there? Real evil has taken up residence there. What do you mean by that? The reptiloids? Reptiloids? The reptiles that there are in this place a long time ago. I know this since I've lived nearby. It all started with strange animal behavior and those damn magnetic storms. The sun was in its The sun was in its every 11 years active phase, and then those damn aliens heard every word I said. I fucking knew it, man. I fucking knew it. I knew I wasn't some stupid conspiracy nuts. But how are these things related? You don't know such simple things, little kid. So listen here. On days like this, when you see something, the solar wind picks up your words and converts them into vibrations of torsion fields. The alien tentacles pick up these vibrations. But you said they were reptiloids. Where did they get their tentacles? And in general, torsional fields are complete nonsense. Live longer than me and you'll understand that this world is more complicated than running around with orders, young scumbag kid. Don't tell me what to do, Granddad. I noticed an ominous glint under his hat. Oh no, it looks like you pissed him off. What makes you think that? Maybe because of the way he looks? If his artificial eye comes out of his socket, it's not good. It is said that in tense arguments it flies out. It could even cause a wound like a bullet. What are you whispering about, Greens? Where is this world headed if young people have a silk-bottom shawarma instead of brains? Once you see a doggy round dance, you'll know what Granddad was talking about. Look, I graduated. Order for 21 shawarmas ready. Thank you, beautiful but kind of weird cashier. You risked me in time. 21? They're having a party, man. I know what I'm talking about. Shawarma's very popular with them. It's all they eat. It's like nutrition bars. Listen to me. Drop everything and run away while you're still alive. In my haste, I packed the order into my bag. Goodbye, old man. All the shawarma fit in the backpack except for one. What to do? Tamp it down a little more? No, it's already full. If I press down any harder, the shawarma's bottom will burst. Since there was no free space in the backpack, because my backpack is specifically designed to not have 21 shawarma, I just put the last one in the pocket in my jacket. It wasn't deep, which made the shawarma stick out of it halfway. I thought it said hallway. I hope I don't lose it somewhere along the way. Foreshadowing, I think. I hurried to the exit while the old man kept talking. The shawarma flopped from my pocket onto the floor, so I stopped to pick it up. Look, you're going to bring an offering right into their clutches. Are you ready to betray the human race? I'm so sick of this dude. Show Granddad where the crazed fish spend the winter. What does that mean? Yeah, I'm curious. The old man is too annoying with his buzzing about conspiracy theories, but responding rudely to him was a bad decision. Roman is now one of the ingredients for shawarma in this bar. Okay. Well, at least the dead ends came really early and didn't take too long. Cool. Yeah. Alright. So how do I load? Oh, there you are. Yep. Silently pick up the shawarma. So they just killed me and made me into ingredients with no fuss whatsoever. The cashier was like, fine. And the granddad's like, more food, I guess. They're all okay with this? Unless this town is like a consensually cannibalistic town, but whatever. Don't notice the old man's mistake. It's useless to replant an old tree, guided by the simple truth. I ignored the old man and just walked away. The way I kept thinking about what he had said. None of those words made an impression on me, but I also noticed that strange things were happening around me as of late. There was a story on TV. I don't really watch it much, but sometimes I turn it on in the background while I'm playing Digger online. There's always some conspiracy nonsense on, and usually I don't even get into what's playing. But that time, the absurdity of the story caught my attention. There was a report about a girl who had her shawarma stolen right out of her hands by aliens. She was walking in the park one evening, enjoying her meal, when suddenly they, flying overhead, took the shawarma with their light beam. Couldn't they just order like normal people? But then again, yeah, they are aliens, so they can't. So they don't know how. But they're intelligent enough to fucking use a light beam to steal a fucking shawarma. Bullshit. Does anyone really believe what is shown on that channel? But after today, I can guess who does. That story isn't too concerning, but the distorted screams that sometimes come from the alleys at night, I don't even know how to describe them. It's like someone is shouting, more likely yelling in different keys, and it gets interrupted. Its fragments are looped, rewound, and distorted just like in some game with a lot of bugs. Well, you did a pretty good job of describing it, even though you don't know how to describe it, so cool. It makes me wonder if our world is just a matrix, but I reassure myself that maybe it's just some wandering DJs having fun, and doubting my own reality goes against my beliefs. But that's not all the weirdness I've noticed. I live on the first floor, and I'm used to having people hanging around under my windows all the time. Every Tuesday, from 4 to 6 in the afternoon, a pensioner in my apartment complex stares through the window. At first it annoyed me, but then I decided to look at the situation as it befits me, from a philosophical point of view. After all, what do I care about this harmless old lady? If she doesn't bother me, let her do what she wants. But 2 weeks ago, I noticed something strange. She always stood practically motionless, but this time her stillness was too unnatural. It's like she was made out of paint or something. There was something strange, even frightening about her appearance. I still saw the same pensioner in front of me, but all my senses were screaming that something was wrong. Exhausted by uncertainty, I went outside and approached her. Everything in me froze with shock when I was close enough to see properly. I discovered that the cardboard cutout was standing instead of a real person. What the hell is going on? Who did this? Why? These questions worry me to this day. Oh well. But the next week, the original pensioner returned and I could breathe a sigh of relief. But wait till you hear this plot twist. After her return, pigeons began to sit in strange circles, like the witch rings that some mushrooms form. And some of the neighbors suddenly turned white. Soon they were all taken away by the riot police, both pigeons and neighbors. What do you mean by they turned white? Like literal white? Their skin already, for example, I'm a fair guy, fair skinned. It just turned complete literal color white. It's very strange, isn't it? Maybe it's the new maybe it's the new conspiracy theory, airborne disease that the big pharmaceuticals can make a vaccine on and, get them lots of money. Like what they did with the other stuff. You know what I mean? Another incident happened on the train while I was going to another city for a meeting of Digger Online fans. There I had a strange dream that seemed more of a reality. I dreamt that I was going to the dining car to get something to eat in the middle of the night. I was separated from it by a single carriage, in which an hour ago many people were sitting. But now it was completely empty, although there were no stops to unload them. It puzzled me, but I was more glad that other people's feet weren't sticking out in the aisle. But when I reached the dining car, the situation took a surreal turn. What the fuck? What is this strange shit? Instead of people, creatures of unknown species, resembling multicolored octopi, stand everywhere. Why do people keep using octopuses? That's not a real word. It's octopi. Octopi! Oh well, it's fine. No problem. Their tentacles wriggled, making clicking and crackling noises. If only I could actually hear that. It was as though they were communicating. They communicated exactly until they noticed me. They froze momentarily, and their eyes were vertical pupils stared at me. Many, many eyes. My mind became clouded. I don't remember how the dream ended. Alright? I woke up and didn't sleep a wink the rest of the way. I left my seat. So many things happening to this guy. And the moon has been brighter than usual. What if Granddad was right? What if there really is something sinister going on in this city? Reptiloids, aliens, it's hard to believe such things, but I can't ignore all the strange occurrences around me. What should I do? A shawarma fell out of my pocket. Damn. Just as I picked it up, I suddenly noticed stray dogs. Oh crap, that's not good. They were looking right at me, or rather, at the shawarma. Damn it. I jumped on my bike and sprinted forward while the dogs rushed after me. Despite the fact that I was pedaling as hard as I could, the cute yet scary-looking mutts didn't think to lag behind. I could keep going at this speed for a long time, but there's a problem. The shawarma kept falling out. Oh, no. The hungry dogs began to close the gap. One of them kept trying to catch the shawarma in its salivating jaw. Get off me! I was ready to fight to the end, while losing shawarma along the way. But I was far from being superhuman, and after a while my legs were ready to fall off. God damn it, the limits of the human body. It seemed that nothing could save me when suddenly a flock of pigeons flew at the dogs, and they're listening to rock music along the way. Speakers on. Alright. Fight, I guess. There were so many pigeons that the flea-ridden canines had to retreat. I didn't attempt fate to shake each pigeon's shriveled little leg, and thanks and said hurried out of here. So, that happened. What the hell was that? Great question. Why did the pigeons only attack the dogs? Maybe they have a a craving for dog flesh or whatever. Maybe they just got tired of the loud barking that echoed throughout the neighborhood. Who the hell knows? Shit, but what about the shawarma? Phew, it's still there. I thought he said that shawarma kept falling out and now it's all there? Only by some miracle it didn't fall out of my pocket. Again. But you said shawarma kept falling out. Or you mean it almost fell out? The chase took too much energy. It would be nice to have something to eat, but that's not you though. That's not yours. Yeah. Let's see. Eat shawarma. I look at the shawarma. Even though it was all crumpled and the sauce was leaking in places, I still had a desire to eat it. I have no choice. I chose the wrong choice possible. After all, there's 20 more left. When the customer notices it's missing, I'll be far away. And now you're wondering why nobody wants to order from you? It's because you can't even discipline yourself, man. That's not good. I unpacked the shawarma and took a bite. What the fuck? A pigeon? Instead of the usual stuffing, something dark and incomprehensible was looking at me from inside. Oh, okay. So this is the shawarma, and that's the pigeon. Right. It was staring, 2 orange eyes on a small blue head. What the hell? Instead of shawarma, I had a pigeon wrapped in pita bread. The bird broke free and flew away as the pita fell to the ground. What the? My whole life and universe flew before my eyes along with that pigeon. The words of the old lunatic from the bar began to echo in my head. How could I be so blind? What? What do you mean? After that, there was no doubt. I had to escape. Escape what? It doesn't matter where, just as long as it's far away from here. To Siberia. In half an hour, I was already at the border of Samara. The road ahead was not an easy one. The shawarmas in my bag should last me a long time, and by the time it's over, I'll be safe. But dude, those shawarma, especially since it's not refrigerated or it doesn't have any artificial preservatives, is gonna spoil after 1-2 days. The first thing I'll need is that granddad's number. He may be my only ally in this crazy world. That was pretty dumb. What the fuck was that? Okay, let's see what else. Load it up. Don't do that. No, I can't. It's part of the customer's order. Yeah. Here's the house I need to deliver the food to. It felt like it took forever to get here. Small victories add color to my life. And the feeling of imminent success even made me forget about the pain in my legs for a while. The place is terrible. Even with a navigator, it is quite difficult to find. The yard is a real garbage dump, and not to mention the building looks like it is about to collapse. Of course, the shawarma fell out of my pocket. Again. God, this place made me feel uncomfortable. What is your pocket made of? Is your pocket, on the other side? Is your pocket has the opposite opening instead of the bottom pocket? The inside of the pocket is in the bottom. It goes up. What the fuck? It keeps falling off. Yeah, this place makes me feel uncomfortable. Intense moments usually helps me chat with others. I'm actually quite an outgoing person, okay? You can get a lot of interesting ideas from talking to people, and extraordinary people have always inspired me. Even with that granddad, we could have had an interesting dialogue if I had more time and he had less impertinence. So now I decided to look around for someone to talk to. If there are any people out here, if there are any people here, of course. Dude, why don't you just give your fucking... just do your job, man. Just do your job, man. Oh, there's a pretty girl out for a smoke. At least something around here is normal. I think I'll talk to her while I have time. Hey, what? Hey, she looks like the cashier, but kind of different, I guess. The cashier has black hair, this one is brown hair. Hi. Don't many people live here? It's only a first glance. Maybe. I got a very large order for shawarma. You need to get to this apartment 17, don't you? Yeah, how the hell did you know that? You're out of luck. Why is that? I've been watching this gang for months now, and I can say with absolute certainty that something is wrong with them. Ever since they settled here, pigeons have been flying around the place. So it's a gang of pigeons. Some white substance that's constantly spilled near the door. You're not sure it's bird poop. And then there are some unearthly mantras heard from the toilets every night. They just keep... It's because they keep eating their daily dose of shawarma. It's like, oh god, the body's rejecting it, and they have to shit it out, probably. I wake up every now and then because of strange yelling. Because they get angry. Where's my shawarma? That's not all. It would take more than an hour to tell you about the strange things that happen here. I see. It all sounds scary. Those weird yells. On the other hand, maybe she's exaggerating and she just has noisy neighbors that she's sick of. Maybe that's why she makes the match be crazy. Yes, of course. You may not believe me, but if you go there, I can't guarantee you'll make it out alive. A job is a job and I have to do it. I don't believe in what I'm saying anymore. Then come on in. I'm just about done. The girl threw out her finished cigarette, and we went into the building together. I live on the 4th floor, and you have to go to the 5th. Suddenly, the light in the stairwell went out. How often does this happen here? Not often, but usually after the obscurity of the neighbors have reached an extraordinary level. Still sure you want to go there? We reached the 4th floor. The girl stopped and looked at me expectantly. Hell, what if all these rumors are true? Granddad's words, the stranger's noises, stories, sorry. And all things I saw with my own eyes. What if I really do fall into some creepy trap? Wouldn't it be better to leave before it's too late? Trust the stranger and run. You're right. Something bad is going on here. I'm going to get out of here while I still have my legs. Turned around to leave, but the slam of the entry door made me freeze in place. There were two pairs of... Wait, there's an entry door? Like, you're in the 4th floor, right? But there's an entry doorway outside on the 4th floor? Like what? You guys just jump out of there? There were two pairs of footsteps on the stairs. The unknown persons were talking, and the only word I could make out was shawarma. Damn, it's too late. It's one of the gang. What do I do? You can hide at my place. Hurry up. Alright. We went into the apartment. The girl immediately closed the door, securing each lock one by one. Lena. Real man. Circumstances are strange, but nice to meet you. Huh. It's the same. Alright. We took off our shoes, threw off our jackets, and went into the kitchen. Lena was hospitable and immediately made us tea. How long do we have to sit here? There was a noise coming from above, as if a crowd of people were dancing right over our heads. Along with the stomping, there were chants that grew quieter and then turned into an outright yell. Now I understood what the girl was talking about. Till morning, most likely, but if things go wrong with this supply of shawarma, we could be here for a long time. You just want to eat my shawarma. God damn it. Fell for it again. I laughed. Despite everything, I felt safe now. So, tell me about yourself. Where to start? I studied to be a philosopher, then I went to work as a courier. It may not sound very cool, but it was only for a while. Oh, I even started writing a book. So far, it's mostly notes on my phone, but still. When I was talking, I looked around. The kitchen was quite cozy, despite the slight clutter. There was a pizza box next to the sink, and there were tea bags and a few candles scattered on the table. Okay. Among the flower pots in the windowsill, there were some packages of pills, a roll of rope, a whip, a gag. What the? A girl I was talking to realized that it was her turn to tell me about it herself. But what are these things, lady? Strange rumors in this building are not just about my neighbors. She smiled slyly, and I felt uncomfortable. What a mess I'm in. I don't know what's worse, getting caught by the cultists or a crazy BDSM fan. Oh, man. Is this a horror comedy visual novel? I'm not even sure. Oh, crap. There was a heaviness all over my body. I tried to get up, but my arms and legs wouldn't listen to me anymore. I looked at the cup, and now I realized what a strange taste the tea had. Somewhere in the hallway, the shawarma from my jacket lay pathetically. Damn, how dizzy. I watched helplessly as Lena took off my shirt and began to tie my body with rope. She kept saying something, but I wasn't listening anymore. The dancing and mantras of the neighbors, meanwhile, had reached their peak. They're totally freaking out in there. It felt like the ceiling was about to collapse on our heads. They're really going wild today. Even the walls are wobbly. This was really happening. The whole house was groaning and shaking, the pipes howling like a pack of dogs chasing shawarma. Why did the landlord never notice this? I don't know. Great, I'm double trapped, and all I could do is watch. What's that? Is there really some kind of wet liquid coming out the pipes? Judging by the sounds, the neighbors began to panic. Len stopped tying me up and turned her attention to the increasing flood. Crap, they pumped that shit all over the place. The pipes finally burst, the white substance gushing out of all the cracks and crevices that rapidly covered the walls. The wild thundering sound made my ears prick up. Before the building collapsed, I managed to look out the window. A huge yellow moon was shining in the ominous red sky. Why is everything so fucking randomly happening here? What the fuck? There's nothing here. To be continued. Fuck off. Complete the order. I don't think trusting her is a good idea, as shown from what happened. What she said sounded more like the ravings of a crazy person. Besides, I absolutely have to complete this order. After all, it could prove fateful. Not to mention the big fine if I don't do it. A job is a job. I didn't come all this way for nothing. As you wish. The stranger disappeared behind the door, and I went up to the next floor. I reached the right apartment. Well, the story is finally coming to a close. The door was opened by a girl in darkness. I couldn't help but notice what was going on behind her. People were looking out from around corners with interest, coming closer, looking at me with a kind of predatory curiosity. How many of them are there? You guys are cramped, like like one of them cars where there are like 20 clowns coming out of it from a small car. What the fuck? Here's your order. She gave me a very strange look and then yelled, "Guys, dinner's here." Someone's strong hand grabbed me and pulled me inside. Wait, I'm okay with not tipping. The door slammed shut. Only a lonely wrinkled shawarma was left lying on the doorstep. Alright. Huh. Oh, okay, that explains it. Genre horror trash. That explains stuff. Well, that was pretty random. So I'm gonna end it here because I have to prepare for work now. So this is Bring Me That Shawarma. If you want to try the game for yourself, the link in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves. Well, that was pretty fucking That was pretty random. What the fuck? So a lot of these genres are like trash. It says so right here. I'm not making a joke. It says trash or something. A lot of weird stuff happened. I can't even remember what just. There was a dog. There were dogs, and the shawarma kept falling out of the pocket, but somehow still in the pocket. What? What the fuck was that all about? And then the granddad never really helped. But hey, there was this one ending where we just left for Siberia. Oh, what the fuck? Man, I mean, it's random, I guess, and haha, I guess, but it's not all that entertaining as really bad ones. Because some I don't know how they do it though. Because some games that are trying to take themselves so seriously come off as more comedic than a game that knows its shit, tries to write shit, and it doesn't land. The shit doesn't land on the toilet. If if that's what if that makes any sense.